All right, Google's Nano Banana is here. It is a spectacular LLM that was just released by Google, and it's actually free to use. I'm going to show you a tutorial of how to use this in this video. But before I do that, let's first explain what it is. You can see here, this is on the official Google announcement. It combined two images to make one. Notice that her face and her hair and everything is perfect. Okay, this is where Nano Banana thrives. It's thriving and inconsistency from images. Okay, so you can see that here, right? So this is an example of essentially editing out Trump from this. So this is the original photo, and the person was able to say remove Trump, and it successfully removed him from the image. Kind of like what Photoshop would do, right? But now you can actually write the sentences. Let's see, there's some other ones. Okay, so same thing. This is giving, for example, this is Justin Bieber. He has different clothes on. It's even doing a different perspective, but it's keeping their faces perfectly the same. Okay, so there's a bunch of these images. I'm not going to go through all those. And the other thing I want to mention is not just that it's able to have identity preservation. Like I said, this is an amazing thing, but it's also super duper fast. Maybe 1 to 2 seconds to generate this image, which is amazing. The final thing I will mention before showing you my kind of quick tutorial is that immediately after this was released, not surprisingly, it essentially jumped to number 1 on all of the ranking boards, right? So right now it's essentially ranked better than all of the other image generation LLMs. Okay, so let's get into the fun stuff. I just want to show you a quick demo. I made this one yesterday. So this is kind of my, my profile picture for my AlphaStack YouTube channel. And what I want to do is use this as a base. So I kind of said, okay, use AlphaStack and then have Gates and Musk and Jobs behind me watching. Okay, and you can see it did it really, really well. So this was the starting image, and this is like the image plus some text. And it was perfect, right? You can see Gates, their faces are perfect. The actual kind of dimensions and styling and colors of my AlphaStack dude is perfect. So spectacular. And then this was actually done in VO, but I asked VO to take that image and then generate a video. And this is what it gave me. So pretty cool. This is actually not a Nano Banana now. This is a thing called VO. The one thing that I thought was weird about VO is that it's actually cutting out their faces. You see that it's cutting off their faces here. So Nano Banana is not afraid to show the true faces, whereas VO kind of has some sort of privacy blocks or something like that. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the same thing but with this. So this is kind of like a a LinkedIn photo that I use for some things. And what I want to do is I want to use this photo as a base and then use this prompt. So use this image of me speaking as a guide, but I want you to make it I want you to make the venue that I am speaking at look much more epic, like thousands of people in rows watching my speech, some of them clapping and cheering from what I'm saying, and amazing technical slides behind me. Okay, I'm going to actually run this and see what happens. I may pause it. Depends on how long it takes. It says 1 to 2 seconds. Let's see how long it actually takes. Okay, so more than 2 seconds is up to 6 seconds now. I'm gonna oh no. Okay, I'm gonna pause it until it's done. Okay, it is done, and that took 16 seconds. And I'm actually slightly disappointed with this image. I can't actually view it yet, maybe, but I can see now I'm actually facing the wrong way. So this is interesting, I guess, in that it was able to take what I said, but it didn't really understand how this would work, right? So right now I'm speaking to these people in chairs, but the people behind me are clapping, right? So what it's done is it's taken this image and essentially photoshopped out all this other stuff and use that as the background, which doesn't really make much sense. Actually, I'm going to try that again because that image sucks. What do you guys think? What else should I do? How about I use the same image? Let's see if I can do that. I'm going to pause. Okay, so here's that image, and now I'm going to write a prompt. Okay, so I'm not going to focus on this too much, but this is what I used. Use this image of me speaking, but zoom out more so that the photographer's perspective is farther away and so that you can see more of the people in chairs in front of me watching. And I said this because in the last image, where is it? In the last image, it kind of didn't understand that. It took my image and edited it out and put the people behind me. So I've actually been more specific here. I've said, okay, now the people are in front of me watching me. And also changed the venue to something way more professional, important looking, blah, 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 blah. Okay. I'm actually going to add one more thing here. Give me a second. All right, there we go. So I added one more thing, which is being really specific in terms of like the organization, the layout of the image. So it would be behind me is the big screen, and then I'm facing towards the audience. Camera. Okay, so I've been very, very specific here. I don't know if this is going to be good or not, but let's give it a shot. Again, I'm going to pause. Last one took 12 seconds. This looks way better. Look at this. There's some weird stuff though. Actually, before I zoom in on this one, I think the other one I can actually view now. So you can see this is the audience. Let's open this in a new tab. This is the audience. It's interesting that they all have kind of different faces, right? So I see different ethnicities, different heights. There's a lot of this dude, whoever that is. There's some girls in there, so pretty cool. I can see my face is like almost right, it's slightly different. These guys in the front, they're blurred out just like the original image. So pretty cool, but actually not as perfect as I would hope. And now let's see the second one. I'm going to pause it until it's done loading. Notice this one was slightly longer at 19 seconds. All right, it's done. So let's have a look at this. Open this in a new tab. All right, so this one looks better, but I can see my face is all messed up. Pretty cool though. So this one, notice that it got the perspective right. So I was very, very specific about, okay, what the organization is, slides behind me and people, and they're all looking at me clapping. So it was really good at doing this organization, but I can see that there's still some bugs here, right? So the backs of these guys' heads, they all kind of look identical. They're all wearing the same clothes. I can see my face is messed up. So actually, it was good to do this live test because I can see it's not as perfect as everyone's saying it is, but it is still very, very good, better than the other platforms. And just because we're here, I'll show you the last step of this process. So what I can now do is I can take this image, let's just put it off to the side, and I will put it into Veo. So Veo is essentially Google's video editing platform. Okay. I don't know if that's saying I can't do it or not, but let me just drop this image in here. Nope, can't do that. Click here, upload. And I'm going to use that same image, actually. This one here. Okay, so here's the image. I'll say, please animate this image and make it look like the audience. Audience is super stoked and love my speech. Okay, I'm going to run that. This one actually takes a while, so I'm going to pause it. Pause the screen record. Okay, it looks like it's done. That took about 60 seconds. Zoom out a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to click play. Oh, this is awesome. Look at that. Oh, I love it. All right, so I'm way more impressed with Veo than I am Nano Banana. So just to review what I've done, I showed you how to use Nano Banana to generate images. We actually had some issues here, so you can see in this version it did really well at generating my face, but it did the kind of the logical organization of things was bad. And then in the second one, I was way more specific about how I wanted it, but it's kind of lost some quality on my face here. And then the final one was actually Veo, and just playing with the same image, I asked it to make people look super stoked, and then boom, gave me this amazing video here. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Please like, please subscribe, please give me a high five. Goodbye.